Hi, how are you? So today I wanted to talk about healing patterns and what this has to do with our own self-study and the fact that we really don't know someone else's patterns because we've not lived their life. Um, we might think we know their patterns based on a timeline that we know them about, but what I'm really seeing is that whenever we're sort of focused externally on someone else's healing journey, it can get a little messy regarding, um, yeah, just projection and focusing on this other person, or they're upset or they're sad or they're feeling this or they're feeling that. And this is a really big piece. Okay, so I'm encouraging us to always drop back into self, always drop back into self-study and stop focusing on how wonderful we are at healing other people, because my perception is not that. The truth is there's only a healing of self. There's only true self-healing. Even when we go see a doctor, it's not the pill really that heals us, it's our own consciousness. The pill is a creation of consciousness to give us the permission, as it were, to heal. And so us and here, this is what it came to, okay, out of an experience of someone, sort of out of nowhere coming at me being like, you need to heal this thing. And I'm like, what, sorry, I'm not even sure what you're talking about. And then um and then I was thinking, yeah, but okay, doctors don't go around handing out pills to random people, or going up to someone and say, take the pill. You have to take the pill. Otherwise you're gonna whatever. And then I thought, so in our energetic healing or in our spiritual healing communities, it really isn't kind or divine right action to go around forcing healing onto other people. There's something going on there. There's some kind of egoic arrogance, there's some kind of distortion. And ultimately, if we're healing a situation, or we think a situation needs our healing, again, what is it in us that we're not looking at? What is it in us that we're still wanting to deflect onto the external? We all do it. It's just a head fuck. So we're gonna have to keep grounded. And that's something, whenever it spins out for me, it's back to meditation every time, back to dropping into meditation until there's love, compassion, and total forgiveness. It's about not holding grudges. And that's something I've never really done, and yet from time to time I've bumped up against people who do, and that's often a mismatch, because it hurts. It hurts when people are carrying things, and then the people holding grudges assume everyone else is, or assume that we might be holding grudges, and it's not necessarily the case. So basically, we all have a complete unique process, and every single one of us has our own unique patterns, and I would never try to pretend like I know your guys's patterns from life, because most of you, if any of you, I haven't known for life except for my own mother. So it's like, if I don't have that awareness, then I'm not going to try to pretend like I do. And oftentimes we're not going to quite accurately address it, because it's likely that we're often looking at other people's patterns from our own limitation and from our own fear, because we don't know exactly what vision someone's creating for their life. And so, or if we don't vibrationally align on a broader purpose, at some point those vibrations will come to a head, or a mismatch or a misalign, which will then boom, and it would take them in a different direction. So you're the only one who can assess your own patterns, and just be mindful of that. Be mindful of you're the main one creating your life. And again, if we're focusing on other, it might just be there's something that we're not focusing on self. And also there's this weird, there is a weird energy around that, where it's like, you know, being able to be present and being able to do that when people don't ask. Again, it's the whole doctor thing. If someone's not asking for you to hold space or asking for your benevolent this, that, or the other, if someone's not directly saying, yes, please hold space for me, or yes, please send me that loving energy, or yes, please, da 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 da, then great, you send, you offer. But if there's this sense of like, I am offering and I'm holding space, and you should, or you then, or you're not receiving or something, that's like, again, manipulation, control, thinking you know what somebody else wants when it's not necessarily the case. Again, just get to know self, get to know what you desire, get to know the life that you want to live, get to know the essence that you are, get to know how amazing and wonderful you are in yourself, so that you shine that light, and then ultimately the people, places, the resources, the money, all the things you need to keep that life flow going will keep showing up. Swear to God. But again, the faith, trust, belief, all of that has to be so grounded in. And again, this is something that comes through self-study. This is something I've done naturally most of my life. Going within. It's a natural, sort of like a natural tendency of an introvert, right? Of like going within and working out, like, why is this happening? Why did that happen? Da, 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 da. What did I do there? And why was I thinking this? And da, 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 da. And it's the discipline of noticing what we're thinking. That's a big part of this conscious manifestation. It's what we're thinking and feeling in the present moment. And if we're not truly connected, if we're not meditating, if we're not doing these things that help us stay sensitized and present, like yoga or like conscious movement, it's really easy to spin out into a default pattern. It's really easy to be in a wound and not even realize we're in it, you know, and then just start projecting and blaming and being in our arrogance, being in our ego, thinking we know everything, when we're just in another spin, and we've just distracted ourselves from our own vision and our own creative output, because we're focusing on why somebody isn't behaving how we want them to behave, or why don't they want what we want them to want. But again, that's something we're creating for ourselves. And for us to assume we know what someone else is creating for their lives is a little bit arrogant. We don't, unless, you know, we're deep family, and even then, we don't. Know thyself. To thine own self be true. That's all there is. So you're the only one who can know your patterns. You're the only one that can really heal yourself. At the same time, let's be wonderful human, amazing, or wonderful, humble humans, where I do see healers. I do see coaches. Sometimes I'm sure I'll go to the doctors again. It's like, it's all relevant, valid, and beautiful. And I often require, like all of us, we all need witnesses to our healing. I at times, when it really came to healing my heart, I needed my friends to be there to hold me and support me and to witness the fact that I was there in the depths of my pain and my darkness, owning it and transforming it, and knowing I'm going to get through this, and knowing that I can let go of that story, and knowing that I can be free from that story, right? And then break through, and then break through, and then break through, and knowing that even in the depth of my darkness, that I'm going to get through this, and that I don't owe anyone anything, and that I don't have to go back into enslavement or into poverty or into fear. I don't have to go back. And that's the biggest liberation, right? And again, we don't know the story of someone else. We don't really truly know that, you know? And for us to pretend like we do is just a distortion of our own self. Think projecting stuff onto other people, right? And there again, let's just all focus on being the highest joy that we can be in every area of our lives, and that place, that level of fearlessness will keep shining from there. But you know, when we're still working things out, I am too, when we're still working things out, let's not go around pretending that we know for someone else, you know. It's not, I'm realizing it's one of those edges of people please. It's not very kind, actually. It's attacking someone for their person, right? So living in the flow, guys, it just takes a little bit of practice and trusting, letting go, being at ease, you know. And then as we start to flow and we start to feel in, we'll notice it's like this, and then it's like every maybe 2 cycles we bump up against something. Oh, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. And then finally you get up there and you're like, it's gone. There's a new challenge. There's something else. So just keep going, keep writing it out. Keep believing in yourself, because that's very useful in all of this. And keep digging deep and doing the work. You know, keep digging deep and feeling into you, and notice your thoughts of projection, and notice your thoughts of negativity, and keep changing them. Change the story. Change your story. Become someone new if you want to. Because we're shapeshifters. I could be as many different manifestations as I desire. Right? Most of us just, there is a specific reason we chose to be the beings that we are. So why don't you figure out why you've chosen to be the being that you are, and then be that, and then see what comes in around you, and stop forcing other people to fit into what we think our world should look like. As soon as we try to like fix it in, there's definitely a distortion, because fixing is contracted hard. It limits, it stagnates energy, fixing it. Whereas be like water and just flow and observe your reality. This is like, you know, I practice that too, because I get like this sometimes too. So it's like flowing, watching the flow, and guys, just watch what comes in. I swear to God, this is insane. These last few days, I'm really excited to share with you like some of the stuff that's come in. I'm kind of blown away, but I'm excited as well. I'm excited because this is seriously lifelong dreams, and like to the point of like I could not, there's no way my little mental mind could have figured this out from, you know, from a 19-year-old girl to now, realizing that this is the dream from then, and it's way better than I imagined it, and I'm even way happier than I imagined possible. But it's been a kind of tricky road, and that's something as well I'm very aware of. When you put yourself out there on these platforms, and people watch this video from like 6 months ago or 2 months ago, they're like, oh, you're so sad, or you're da-da-da. You're like, no, that was just 2 months ago, and that was in the present moment. And then that's the whole thing of realizing where people are with their connection to their emotions, is that a lot of people still demonize their emotions. A lot of people like think anger is bad, horrible. Like people who feel anger are like less holy or something, or people that, and that's usually because there's so much repressed anger that they project the anger around them, and then are like, oh God, horrible angry people. And you're like, well, yeah, because there's reasons people get angry, right? Unconscious abusive reasons why people get angry. So there again, you guys, embrace your anger, embrace your sadness, embrace your love, embrace your compassion, embrace your frustration, because it's all valid. It's all there trying to teach us something about who we are, about the strength that we are, about how we've denied our power, about, you know, and then life goes on. Life goes on, and we move through. So just really sink into the ease that you are. Have faith. And yeah, just observe those emotional patterns. Keep uprooting those emotional patterns. Notice if there's energy in you trying to get stuff from people in your life. Or again, areas where you think you know someone else. So yeah, as we unravel those locked in emotional patterns, that again, we have to be patient with this stuff. So we start unlocking those emotional patterns by having emotional upheaval and letting ourselves feel all that emotion. Once that emotion shifts, we will have those subtle breakthroughs, right? Those little releases. And then really with cycle after cycle, as you start getting used to shifting the density of those systematic patterns, you'll just start to notice more ease gently. Certainly my experience of this, it was a gentle ebb and flow. You know, it was like storms, and this was all slow. Especially because patience is a real challenge for me anyway. So, you know, but it took years. You know, the whole body transformation stuff was really properly like a 3-year journey, but not from micromanaging the food, not from obsessively exercising. If anything, it was the opposite. It was like relax more, eat whatever I want, and let go, chill out, trust, have faith that my body's meant to look how I want it to look, but I have to stop fucking trying to control it all. And it works. And the exact same thing's happening with my career and money. The more I just let go, the more I just let it drop in and lead me, rather than me trying to make it all happen and exhausting myself, the dream is actually just like unfolding proper, and it's way bigger and way easier than I could have even imagined. So yeah, look at the patterns, start uprooting the patterns. Eventually you'll start to feel energetically different. Either you'll have more energy, you'll feel more clear, you'll feel different around certain people, you'll feel different when you look in the mirror. And then once you start to feel those differences, that's the yoking momentum. That's when you realize, oh my God, it's working, I'm feeling better, I'm seeing better manifestations. And then the more you see the better manifestations, the more that will give you the ammunition and the strength and the diligence to keep doing it, to keep letting deeper and deeper stuff come up, to keep feeling into your depth, basically, you know, feel into all that you carry, all the density, all the fear, all the shame, all the guilt that you carry, keep releasing it, and then just watch how your life unfolds from a place of ease, from a place of creativity, right? Because ultimately, once we shed the density, we become lighter, but we become more open. And then in that open space, it's easier for us to become the creative channel that we're purely designed to be, without that overlay imprint of the system, right? Which has been great. We've all created it, and it's brought us a long way, and it's shown us progress on that physical material level. But now it's like the enslavement piece needs to be dissolved so that more of us can rise into like power and harmony and true abundance, so that we can shape shift the disparity on this planet. We can up level so that large majority, if not all, humans are completely supported on a basic level with food and love and and shelter and all that. And then there's just different systems that help people be creative, basically. So instead of being slaves, we become creative humans. And then essentially, how I see it anyway, technology and AI and stuff takes over human labor. So humans do not have to become slaves. Humans are creators, and we rest and we heal and we flow with life. It's quite a leap for a lot of people to get to that point, but for me, it's that deep inner knowing of the potential for humanity, and somebody who would like to see that potential unfold. So in order to do that, we have to transform the beings from within our perspective. So we shapeshift the perspective and transform all of our dense emotions so that we can be free and in love and quantum manifest the life we desire, to be shining examples for the rest of our brothers and sisters here around the planet. So guys, I would love for you to share with me some patterns that you're noticing and how you're dealing with them, how you're yoking them. And women, chicas especially, pay special attention to your cycle. Alta Love may well end up doing a little mini course at some point around our cycles as women. I'm just planting a seed. If that entices you, message me or message Team Love at altalove.com, and one of us will get back to you guys about that. Otherwise, I think that's it, you guys. So keep noticing your patterns, keep uprooting them, continue not other, self-inquiry. How do you hold space for self? How do you hold space for your awareness, your container, to notice your patterns? Okay, it's not, we're not here to know other. That's like a defect. Knowing other is self, but if you think other is not self, it's like we're pushing away, we're pushing something about ourselves away, right? And this is where, again, that whole healing thing gets kind of muddled for people, is that healing is within. It's something that happens inside. It's not something we do to each other. You know, that, again, if we think we're doing something to someone because someone else isn't, we're in our ego ultimately, or we're in our falsehood. We're in our falsehood, and we're in denial that we're probably in a reaction, that we're not truly in our presence, because we're spinning out trying to heal ourselves, or trying to heal someone else, or thinking someone else needs healing, but that's not in alignment with the healed state. So we really need to be in an alignment with our healed state if we think we can go around healing others. So first check your own patterns, because it's more than likely if you're focusing on other people's patterns, there's something that we're not looking at in ourselves, right? And I only see that because I recognize through various interactions that people project on, and that as the person putting themselves out there, I'm like, oh, weird. There's nothing you can do about how people perceive you. There's nothing that you can do when somebody perceives you as horrible or rude or mean or whatever, or wounded. There's nothing you can do if someone's going to choose to perceive you like that. So, and the only thing though, guys, is that someone comes along and doesn't perceive you good, or they have hardcore judgment or density towards you, you're going to feel it, and it's not going to feel good. So that's how we have to permission ourselves to walk away from people, places, and things who are going to project on a bunch of bullshit, because it's going to feel like a bunch of bullshit. It's going to feel really uncomfortable if you've done a lot of work to clear yourself. So you have to walk away. You have to permission yourself to be clear enough to walk away, and then also to not engage, but then share from the heart, right? Share from this place of vulnerability and honesty. And yeah, I'm just aware of that. It's like a piece of art. I'm not like saying that I'm an artist. I'm not some spiritual teacher or anything. I'm just an artist who just shares stuff, just like a painter puts color on a canvas. This is me just putting color out on the canvas of life, right? And so as an artist, it's no like right or wrong, and like the public would interpret a piece of art in various ways. It's the same. People interpret me however they're choosing to see, and what I'm aware of is that for some people feels cool, and other people the perception feels a little like off to me. Like they'll be saying things and I think, oh, that's not what I'm feeling at all, and that's not, and also who, you know, no one asked for this, you know. So it's just being really, really self-aware, self-focused. And usually if we're putting something on someone, it's because we want something from them. We want them to change, we want them to stop doing this, or we want them to da da da, but we don't know how to really be direct about what we want from them, or direct about how we're really feeling towards them. And so we create some situation that allows us to just go, fuck you, don't get out of my life, right? And it makes it easier for us because we don't truly want to have to heal or deal, you know. And that's something, it's brutal. Sitting with our ugly emotions is not comfortable for any of us. It's not. But what can I say? I've not been able, my own experience is that I can't deny them either. I can't deny that they're there, and I can't deny that I'm the one feeling all of this. And so, you know, having been processing these deep, deep emotions for a really long time, I can honestly say at some point you're going to hit a stride, you're going to hit momentum where you just know it's visceral, tangible, that the majority of your density's dropped, that you've cleared and healed and ended and completed certain energetic cycles, which means you don't have to go back there. I don't have to go back into body image issues and food control issues because I've healed them. I don't have to go back into emotionally abusive relationships because I've seen them. You know, I've felt them and healed them, and I'm a radically different person from when I was before. Even out of the blue, people where something happens that people end up leaving my life energetically. And again, people I don't even know have to, but then they decide to. But then within like 24 hours, my whole body feels lighter, and I feel more free, and I feel more present. And I'm like, whoa. I didn't even realize that those people were weighing me down. I didn't even realize those people hated me so much, you know? But then once that hate is out of me, I feel lighter, I feel better, I feel more clear, and I'm amazed at the flow state, you guys. I'm amazed at the abundance state as well. Flow is abundance, abundance is flow. But again, I will go more into money at some point, you guys, but I'm still really yoking into it now. But again, I can honestly say with the money stuff, it's kind of all the same. It's really miraculous. It's not what we think, but the more we let go, the more it just drops in. And we know. So it's like knocking out those areas of our lives. So physical well-being, happiness, joy, love for the body and the self and the life. And then like food, all social, loving friends right now, loving interactions with people and doing fun things with different people. And then like the home and getting our home stuff sorted out, which is great. The body. So money for me is my next challenge. the big one as far as quantum manifestation. Once I hit my target, I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to just be balls out annoying probably and be like, money manifestation. But again, once you're creating on that level, you can shine the light for people. Romantic relationships. That's going to be the next big one, you guys. Start sharing. Start sharing. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what you're sitting with. Let me know what patterns are coming up for you, what people are triggering those patterns, and reach out, you guys. Remember that you can reach out. You can book one-to-one time with me. It's normally £100 an hour, but for tribe members, it's £22 for 20 minutes, which means it's only £66 for a full hour instead of 100, which it is for all the other punters out in the world who are not fearless like us. But yeah, reach out if you ever feel like you need clarity around a situation, and I can just be presence for you, and I be present, so that if you need to just be in that presence field, we can usually kind of pick out where there might be a block and work through it together. That's all. Love you guys. Have an awesome day. Peace out.